The story comes to mind, story of Malik ibn Dinar radiallahu anhu. He, rahimahullah, was from the Atba'u Tabi'een. He was in the third generation. Sahaba, Tabi'een, Atba'u Tabi'een. And so he actually, he was a policeman, he was a believer, however he wasn't a strong practicing believer. And he actually had a terrible habit, he was a drunk. So he used to drink almost every night frequently. A time came when he had no one that he could find to marry him. Obviously he was a drunk, he was a policeman, didn't really have much going for him. And there was like a woman of a lowly caste in society. So he managed to procure her hand. So he marries this woman, and eventually he has a child. He has a daughter, she's very, very young. And she's around the age of 2 or 3. It's at this time that she had a habit, and he mentions in a narration, he says that I would drink every night. He said, however, my daughter, whenever I would hold her while I had the bottle in my hand, she would always grab the bottle and just throw it away. Like children tend to do that, they knock everything out. So you just constantly do this. And he said that I loved her so much, I never scolded her for it. So the time came when she became sick and she passed away. She died. He said, my grief knew no bounds. And he said, at this point, like I drowned myself at the bottom of the bottle. That's it. Like I just completely, immersed myself in alcohol. It's the only way I could numb the pain I was going through. A time came, he said, that I drank so much, it's the time of Isha, and I fell asleep. I fell asleep drunk, and I had not prayed my Isha Salah. At night, I have a dream. He said, in this dream, I find myself on the day of judgment. This is Maidan al-Hashr. I find myself on the day of judgment, and people are there, and I'm surrounded by all of these people. And he said that, I see people are going in the right direction, people in the wrong direction. So I begin to follow people going in the right direction. All of a sudden, a massive serpent, like a huge snake, emerges out of the ground, and it begins to chase me. So obviously, what do you do when the giant snake is chasing you? He said, I turn around, I hightail it. I start running in the opposite direction. So I'm running as fast as I can. All of a sudden, I get to a cliff's edge. I get to the edge of a cliff, and there's fire beneath me. I realize this is not where I'm supposed to go, so I turn around, and I manage to evade the snake, and I keep running. And as I'm running, I see an old man, a very old, weak man. So there's no one else to help me. I ask him, please help me against this massive snake. And the man says what? He says, no, I'm too weak, I'm too feeble, I can't help you. What do you want me to do against this snake? It's you on your own. So he says, I keep on running, I keep on running. He said, eventually, I run past a hill. When I run past the hill, I see that there are doors inside of this hill. And all of a sudden, they open up, and there is a young girl there. It's my daughter. She begins to call out to me, Ya abati, here. So he calls out to her father and says, come here, come here. So he runs inside one of the rooms. She slams the door shut. So he goes inside. And this is his young daughter. She's like 3-4 years old at this time. And so he begins to have a conversation with his daughter that what's going on, where are we? And so she explains, and she says that snake right there, that is your sins chasing you. Your sins chasing you. They almost threw you over that cliff into the hellfire. That old man you bumped into, that was your good deeds. You have very little good deeds. How can they help you against all of your bad deeds? What do you think your fate is going to be? And then she asks her father a question, and she says, Ya abati, alam ya'ni lilladhina amanu an takhsha'a qulubuhum li dhikrillah wa ma nazala min al-haqq. My father, hasn't the time come? Hasn't the time come for the believers to actually listen to the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to live a new life? Isn't the time, like we read the Quran every single day in the month of Ramadan, you spend hours reading it, you spend hours listening to it, right? Constantly it's playing in our homes. All we hear is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala time and again in the month of Ramadan. But is that actually changing our lives? He's been a Muslim for decades, but did he change his life? He read the Quran so many times, he read it, he heard it, he recited it, but did that do anything for him? She says, hasn't the time come for you to actually humble yourself before the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? He wakes up at this point, he's shaken, and he realizes that I need to change. He immediately goes, he makes wudu, he takes a ghusl, makes wudu, runs to the masjid, and he gets into the masjid and he hears the Imam leading Fajr Salah, and the Imam reads exactly this ayah, أَلَمْ يَأْنِ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَن تَخْشَعَ قُلُوبُهُمْ لِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ وَمَا نَزَلَ مِنَ الْحَقِّ. And after this, he prays the salah behind him and he says, Bala ya Rab. He says, Al-an. He said, oh my Lord, now the time has come for me to change my life.